position of a tight end and Nate's role particularly, how is that going to change how you guys operate as an offense?
Well, I mean, we're committed to be a tight end oriented offense, and Nate brings the most experience to us, and he's really made a lot of progress from transitioning from the spring to right now. He's had a great camp, and we're counting on him to be a really solid every down tight end for us.
Where's he made the most progress since spring?
Everything, technique. He's been bounced around so many different positions, and now he's had a chance to focus on one position, technique, fundamentals, blocking in the run game, blocking fundamentals, and in the passing game, just the route running of a tight end inside's different than being a slot receiver, which he was some of the time. So in all phases, he's becoming a really effective run blocker, which he's going to need to be. If you're going to have a tight end in your offense, you got to be able to run the ball behind him in critical situations.
What other tight ends have looked good? I know Caleb Wilson has been getting a lot of time.
Well, I tell you, as a group, I was thinking about that into anticipation of this, and he, you go right down the list. Nate's had a really good camp. As a group, I think this group has really improved, light years from where we started in the spring, obviously. I mean, you're talking about Gio Gentozzi, who was a kind of hybrid offensive lineman, fullback at times, great fundamental blocker. Austin Roberts brings a dimension. He's a receiver transition to tight end that has really, has really embraced the blocking aspects of the position. Jake Jones, a walk-on defensive end, who's maybe made the most improvement of any tight end we have. Big defensive end that we moved over. Caleb has done a nice job as our, as what we refer to as our F tight end. And in both the run game and the pass game, and then again, he's another guy that was a quarterback in high school till the very end of his high school career, and he was a receiver. And then the young guy, Jordan Wilson, just is big-bodied guy, and is really smart for a guy. He makes very few mistakes for a guy that's the first time around in this kind of an offense.
Are you overall happy with their ability to block at this point, or is that something?
Well, as I tell them all the time, it's better not to be confused with good, and that's where we are right now. We're getting better every day, but we're by no means where we need to be or where we want to be or where we will be. But the arrow's pointing up, and we're moving in the right direction. They're showing improvement. We're becoming more physical, and again, we're taking guys that haven't played that position, because the position didn't exist in this offense, and having to basically start from ground zero, and I think we've made a lot of progress.
How do you feel the offense as a whole is shaping up as a result of adding this position?
Well, I think that we're a more physical offense. We can run the ball downhill. I think that the mentality that KP has brought to us of being imposing our will in the run game, being physical, I really believe that the guys have bought into that. And our run game is we have facets of it that are downhill, physical. We still have some other schemes, but I think it has then brings a mindset into the offense that, hey, we're not a finesse offense. We're going to be able to line up and come downhill at you and run the football.
Kenny Walker was telling us about all the time he spends working on his playbook, studying his playbook, because there is actually a playbook now. In what ways do you test your players to make sure they're kind of getting their study time in and making sure they learn how to play?
They're tested out here, 2.5 hours every practice, but we have a lot of meeting time up here. That's the great thing about being here. It's a great facility. You're isolated. You have a lot of meeting time, and so you're testing them in meetings. You're questioning them. You get them on the board. As you meet, everybody has different styles. You can give them written tests, but I'm one that likes to be watching tape and just fire questions at them, and they can see how quickly they respond, because that's the way it's going to have to be in a game.
This is kind of an offbeat question, but when he says playbook, is it a physical playbook, or you do like an ebook kind of thing?
Well, it's both. We have a digital playbook. The playbook is digital for them, and it's it's an actual hard copy, and like the old days, and it's a big thick notebook. We threw a lot at them, and they've really embraced it. Threw a lot of concepts at them, and we're just trying to build the foundation of the offense right now, and it's still being built.
What's it been like for you to be back out here coaching?
It's been fun. You know, I mean, I really, I had maybe the best job in America and what I had before is the associate AD in charge of football. But just to be out, you know, I missed the field. I missed coaching. I missed being around the players. I missed the competition. I had a great retirement job, but I'm not ready to retire. So, you know, when this opportunity presented itself, I wanted to jump all over. And I appreciate Coach Moore giving me this opportunity.
It's been what you expected.
Well, it's been, you know, coaching is coaching. You know, being around the kids, yeah. You know, I didn't realize even how much I missed it until I got back into it, and it's like, wow, this is why I did it for 40 some years. And you know, I know there are those that think, you know, you get to this age and you don't have your energy and you don't have, you know, you can't relate to players and all that sort of stuff. I think that's a bunch of baloney. I bring as much energy out here as anybody, and a great relationship with my players, I think, and having a lot of fun.